This guy averages 5.6 yards a carry. You know what I mean? I know Derrick Henry gets a lot of attempts, right? And I think that, people load the box up against Nick Chubb, and I like the fact that him and Kareem Hunt can be complements to each other because he keeps his carries down, right? Because they go running back by committee. That means, to me, Nick Chubb's going to have a long shelf life. So the fact that they were able to give him an extension, I think is right on task. You want to reward one of your best players. And it's not something that's going to hurt you, too, because you were going to have to pay him, after next year because he wasn't a first-round draft pick, so you only have his rights for 4 years. You do it a year early. 12 million annually, prorate that because it's an extension, and it's probably only hits you like 10 before you have to pay Baker and all the other guys. You got to pay Nick Chubb as well. So I think, listen, Cleveland's finally starting to do some things right.
Yes, they are. This is Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, presented by Progressive Insurance. Guests,
this is Shake and Bake.
That's what we're calling ourselves. Shae, Cornette, and Scott Bart filling in for the guys this morning. And, yeah, we're talking about Nick Chubb signing that contract extension. It's a 3-year deal, $36.6 million extension. It includes $20 million guaranteed. But the question is, why sign Nick Chubb before Baker Mayfield? We're going to get into that in a second. I just want to point this out. Chubb, first player in NFL history to average at least 5 yards per carry in each of his first 3 seasons. So he is doing something right. In terms of what this deal means for the Cleveland Browns, well, let's hear from Field Yates, our ESPN NFL insider, on why this Nick Chubb deal is good for both the Browns and Chubb.
I am typically not necessarily the biggest proponent of paying running backs at or near the top of the market. There is some value here in the fact that it's a 3-year contract where you do expect that for the next 4 seasons, 2021 included, Nick Chubb should be at or near the top of the running back class amongst the best. That includes the Christian McCaffreys and the Dalvin Cooks and the Derrick Henrys and those type of players. So I actually think it's a reasonable deal on both sides.
Okay, so we know how you feel about Nick Chubb. Well, you think he's the best running back in the league. I'll take him I'll take him behind Derrick Henry, and that's fine. I can die on that sword. But the question here now becomes about the quarterback. And why did they pay their running back before they decided to extend and pay their quarterback? Mike Tannenbaum used to make a big deal about the Cowboys perhaps sending a weird message by paying Ezekiel Elliott before they paid Dak Prescott. And we know how this turned out. They tagged Prescott, and then they ended up paying for it later on by giving him a big contract that we saw this offseason. Yeah. I guess the difference there is that Baker had a 5th-year option, which the Browns obviously picked up, and Dak did not. Right. Nonetheless, does this send some sort of message to the Cleveland Browns or to the Cleveland fans in terms of having to pay your running back before your quarterback?
No, it's saying that, hey, we're going to sign our good elite players young, and we're going to tie them up. And look how smart it is. Nick Chubb's 25 years old. This puts him under contract at 29. You think at 30, that's when, running backs fall off the cliff. So you want to try and pay him now, reward him now, because if you pay him afterwards, then that takes him to 30. And then, or he might have wanted a little bit more money or something like that, or you have to fight for him and you have to pay more, because what will a 26-year-old Nick Chubb get in the market? You look at what the high running backs are making. Ezekiel Elliott is making $15 million a year. Christian McCaffrey's making $15 million a year. You get Nick Chubb, who's younger and just as productive, for $12 million a year. That is a discount. And we all anticipate that the salary cap is going to be going up next year. So you sign them early underneath these rules, knowing that guys are going to get crazy contracts next year. That's why a guy like Juju Smith-Schuster, why would you go back for less money when the Ravens were offering you this type of money? Because the market next year and the salaries for next year is going to go up exponentially. See, I got some college words. I wrote that one down before I came.
Good, exponentially?
Yeah, I was trying to. Yeah.
Nice job.
Associate's degree.
Chubb is a key part of the Browns, what they do.
He's the most important piece.
When they started utilizing the run, the Browns and Baker Mayfield, is when they started winning football games. I mean, This is not rocket science to anyone. Chubb also rushed for a total of 1,578 yards after contact since 2018. That trails only Derrick Henry and Ezekiel Elliott. So he's amongst the elite. Let's just call it what it is. What?
He is the elite.
Okay, whatever. He's amongst the elite. And so I think Baker Mayfield would tell you this too. Like when he started utilizing the run and perhaps going run then pass is when the Browns became successful and when he became a better quarterback. But now you have Odell Beckham Jr. coming back into the fold. And so does that make a difference for Baker Mayfield? Can he still go run first pass second?
You don't give him the option, right? You don't give him the option, unless teams are loading the box so much that you have no choice but to audible and check to it. Listen, the reason why they haven't gave Baker Mayfield a contract because they don't really believe in him to the fact where I don't think they think that he's on the Josh Allen level They don't think he's on a Russell Wilson level.
Perhaps he's more on the Carson Wentz level, where he has one good year and then we don't know what's going to happen after that.
Exactly. I mean, listen, he's a guy that's unproven. He has a lot to prove this year because he's not Lamar Jackson. He hasn't won an MVP where people deemed or his peers thought that he was the best player in all of the NFL. He's a guy that has two of everything, right? So, like, what happens is when you pay a quarterback, I mean, he got two great tackles, right? Two great tight ends, two great receivers, and then he has probably one of the best, centers in the game. So, I mean, it took all of that for Baker to kind of be unleashed and for them to be able to compete. But when you pay him that type of money, you have to say, and Tannenbaum used to say this all the time, and also Ozzie Newsome, like, okay, you want to get paid more money? Which one of your teammates you want to cut? Because that's what happens, right? And that's what you have to realize with Baker Mayfield, and that's what Russell Wilson realized, right? When he got paid his money because he was under a contract and they had him on a rookie deal and they got him for a discount because he wasn't a first or second round draft pick, it cost him the Legion of Boom. But Russell Wilson proved that he can carry the team without those pieces because now you have to be more than one player because you got to replace you're not going to have elite players at every position right now. And that's the beauty of having a rookie deal and why you want to win a championship on a rookie deal because it gets so much harder. It gives, your batting percentage has to be a lot better as a general manager when you pay your quarterback because you can't miss. Because if you miss, you're going to have more holes in your roster.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.